My name is Chijoke Ernest. My English name is Ernest. What?
Oh, well, continue.
I'm a product designer and I work at Joba Network. It's an identity software that enables Web3 enthusiasts like you access opportunities, jobs, and whatsoever using your wallets, basically. Currently, we have a job marketplace. You can look it up, joba.network, right? Okay. And basically, my job is to design the things that you see around smart contracts. So when you hear things like a crypto wallet, a DApp, a DAO, whatever, what do you see and how do you experience it? My job is to work with the engineers and put color and typography to those things so that you can enjoy using those softwares, basically.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Ekoh Victor. I am a growth and marketing executive. I am currently working with Web3 Bridge. And oh, okay. So we also work together. I'm just knowing. So yeah, marketing has been exciting for most people. They're like, what's Web3 marketing about?
Yeah.
And oh yeah, it is like normal marketing. Yeah.
Well, Web3.
So we get to amplify what people like him has done, or like put it in front of people's face. Like I always tell people to at least try to build something that's worth publicizing. If you create a bad product, I'll help you amplify it in front of people. So yeah, so we have to work hand in hand, I guess. Yeah. So the experience has been fun, and a secret. This is a secret. Don't tell anyone. When you're working in Web3 space, you get that feeling of, do I know what I'm doing? Do you get it's a normal feeling. If you know you've had that feeling, like I'm not sure. Like, Can I raise the hand? It's your hand. Yeah, it's yours. Yeah. So cool. So I just want to let you know that you're not alone, and we keep learning and getting better. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much, Ekoh. I'm looking forward to your own session on Web3 marketing. Okay. Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon, everybody.
Can you guys hear her?
Can you guys hear me? That's a lie.
Don't worry.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Wait, no, again, no. What happened? Why are you guys low?
What's happening?
Yes, what's happening?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Omotui Motolani. I'm a content strategist and social media manager. I am Women in DeFi content lead and social media manager. Apart from my impact duty with Women in DeFi, I work my 9 to 5 with Mansa Finance, a real world assets private credit company. Sarah was supposed to be here today, but she had other engagements, so I'm going to be representing her. Ask me your question about DeFi and your personal question about Sarah. If you're seeing me, you're seeing Sarah. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. All right. My name is Eniola Messi. First of all, I'm a final year law student.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'm the community manager for Web3 Africa and a marketing lead for Layers Protocol. So being a community manager, this time for me. So basically, I do tell people that being a community manager is much more than saying good morning in the community.
Yeah.
It is
GM.
It's way more than that. It is about, communicating and having a relationship with your community member, and that's what push your product to the limelight. So basically that's.
Thank you very much. Are you guys excited about this panel? So if you I want this session to be interactive. So if you have questions, I'll just take 3. From 3 as I'm seeing them. So 3 people. 1, okay. 2, but wait, at least let us at least a little. 1, 2. I've noted you guys. So let's just start. I will start with, let me say, Ekoh. Yes. Web3 marketing. When we hear of marketing, do you think of Web3? Like you really don't. I mean, put into marketing, yeah. Thank you. We have marketers in the house. And whether you like it or not, you are indirectly selling yourself. So you're a marketer. You're selling your skills to company. You're selling your brand or whatever you do. And indirectly, you're also marketing yourself. So everyone is technically into marketing. So, Ekoh, please, can you share some light about Web3 marketing and how you got into it?
Okay. First of all, I think I should first say I am really privileged to be amongst you. I also would like to say a big kudos to my mentor, which is actually my boss, Mr. Ayodeji.
Please, can we give him a round of applause?
Yeah, yes. If you don't know him, you should in the Web3 space. And as a marketer, I should tell you, please scan that code and be part of our community. That's the banner there for Web3 Bridge. So about my journey, the journey is one kind. But okay, so I have like a background with development, Web2 development. Okay. And for over like 7 years, I've been into like marketing in the tech space, but in the Web2 space. And I had a couple of friends in the hub where I was, and they were like, Web3. I'm like, I never sabi Web2 finish. And yeah, but they got me like curious about Web3. And I was like, okay, I'm going back into development. And I was like, you can do this. And I did. So I went through Web3 Bridge cohort, that's cohort 9. And I was part of their students. Yeah. It was not a funny one because they are serious. I know, you can tell. Yeah, really very good with development and pushing you to the limit. So I did struggle as a developer, but as a marketer, I was like, wake me in the morning and I do it. Like most people here, you might not be a developer, but you have a skill. And I want you to be very comfortable and confident with what you know. Value in the space, first of all, most people have defined Web3, like the value in Web3 as being a developer. And most times, like, you can just be a common developer, yeah, or you can be a marketer. You remember when they said, it's just a marketer? And I'm trying to revenge here. So if you are a content writer, you are a social media person, you can educate, you are a good communicator. That's value. That's value right there. As much as, yes, because we're just, Web3 is just emerging, definitely they are going to put a lot of focus in the product. Like, for example, Coca-Cola, we know Coca-Cola spent a lot of money with their marketing. But if we think back, we would know that when they were starting, they were focused on the product. It's normal. But now they understand that marketing plays a huge role. So what I'm saying is we're all pioneers. I know I'm like kind of digressing from the question you asked, but I just need to put it out there that we're all pioneers, and whatever you can do that can bring value to the space, I think you should do it. So now back to my story. I went through that Web3 development phase and was having a conversation with Mr. Israel, who's a very amazing person. And we started talking about marketing. And after the conversation, he shook me and said, welcome to the team. Oh, so wow. That's how I got my job, which is very amazing. And so far it has been an amazing experience because I'm literally in front of Web3 and understanding what I need to do and what needs to be done. So that caps it.
Sorry, my question to you is that, so you had like 7 years marketing experience in Web2. And then when you wanted to switch into Web3, you said you wanted to go through the route of development.
Yeah.
At what point were you like, nah, development is not for me? At what point? So we all experience that actually. Like everyone makes it look as if you're not coding, you're not doing any of that thing. And then it's not be like, once you now try it feels sweet though, like, oh my, I can code though.
Yeah.
But then you not be like, do I want to be doing this for the rest of my life?
I don't want to wake up every day thinking I'm coding.
So at what point did you get to that you're now like,
that question is really deep.
Yes.
Because you're thinking about your when you're at rock bottom time. So I think it was like for most people here, they will always be thinking, oh, these developers are making so much bucks and I want to be part of it, right? Yeah. So that was like a driving force. I wanted to make the bucks and make all that money. But I just figured that there's still a lot of gaps in Web3 space. Like, for example, events. This event we're hosting, you see developers trying their best to do events and all that. why we have amazing communicators like yourselves out there.
Yeah.
So when I figured that, okay, there's that bridge, there's that gap.
Yes.
I felt like, okay, yeah, this is it. This is where you have to like come in. And also, just a side note, Mr. Israel Ayodeji, yes, he's not a developer, but he has one of the biggest community of developers.
Yes.
Yes, so that is actually a cue and like a driving force that made me make that decision. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Echo.
Yeah.
I think what I'm taking out from that is that, what I'm taking out from your own story is that you need the knowledge of Web3 in whatever skill that you are in, marketing, writing, any other thing. You have to learn. And sometimes, maybe if you go through the technical route, you may not become a developer. But the fact that when people are communicating, you understand things. You are able to relate to developers. Because let's not lie, developers are proud a bit.
Very proud.
They'll be making you feel as if you don't know anything. But if at least when you say that, oh, I know a bit of this, or I did this for a while,
Yeah.
there's a sort of, okay, this guy can relate to me. So nevertheless, we all need knowledge of Web3. Because of, you cannot be talking to a Web3 person and you don't understand. Someone else said, give me your wallet. And I'll be like, what's that? You not bring a wallet. Like, what is that? Or someone will be like, send me a BIP20 address. And I'll be like, send me a TLC20 address. And I'm like, what's that? Eh? Or, that was that. Do you get? So we need that knowledge to bridge the gap, and you can get it through Web3 Bridge and other online platforms. So thank you so much for sharing, Ekoh.
Thank you.
So please clap for him now. It's not easy. Journey you go like this. Your journey is like this. It's not easy. Eniola, so you are a community manager at Web3 Africa. You manage people, and people are problematic. So now my question is that what is like when you manage people, like you manage people, what's like the hardest thing you've heard that stop people from actually making the transition to Web3? Yes.
The Web3 Africa community member here. Let me see your hand.
Web3 Africa in the house.
Shout out to Web3 Africa community members.
Yes.
All right. So managing people is very, very tasky, but it actually deals with your personal conviction. For me, I barely have issues with people. And because I know the kind of work that I do, being a community manager, I understand that we are different. I mean, I will learn that from my home. We're not that much, but I understand that everybody has their different personality.
Sorry, I want to cut you in. Can you share some light on community management? Or do you guys know what the community manager does? Can you share some light on that before your story?
All right. So, okay, let me just start from where I started from, right? Okay. Shout out to Victoria and Messi. When I started, we started with Binance Bootcamp 2 years ago, and that was where I learned introduction to blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. So now, the knowledge I got from that bootcamp was what helped me when I transitioned as a community manager. So a community manager is someone that manages the community, builds the community, and ensure that there's engagement in the community. And like I mentioned, it is not about GM. It is way more than that. And being a community manager, you can deal with marketing, you can deal with social media management, you can deal with partnerships, a lot of things. You have to like learn far and beyond, and to the end that your community is out there. Like I said, so do you all understand what community management is now?
Do you get? All right, thank you.
So that was how we started, and so being a community manager, I've learned that we are different, and my community member knows me that the first thing I do is to have personal relationship with each of my community members. That's like one thing that has helped me navigated, managing people. So when I meet you, we have a conversation. I know the kind of thing that you want. I mean, I'm not a developer, but trust me, I have to know the basics of being a developer. I have to know the basics of Web3. I have to know not literally everything, but I cannot be a community manager and someone is talking about DeFi or blockchain technology, and I'm like, I don't know. And I'm giving you vibes like, oh, sorry, I don't know. Please let me reach my organ at the top. No. Being a community manager puts me at that spotlight where I need to learn these things for the community members. So managing them has been smooth for me, basically.
Okay, thank you very much. It's the way she's saying is very smooth for her. When you say years of experience, that is now smooth. It's smooth. That's really nice.
Thank you.
Earnest, please. I don't say Mr. Web3 Crypto. So Earnest, We know you're a designer, and we all know what design is now. We don't need that explanation again. So were doing Web2 design. At what point, what motivated you to switch to Web3 design?
Okay. I think that's a very beautiful question. And luckily for me, some of my origin is kind of tied to Web3 Bridge in some sense.
Aww.
So I'll kind of walk through my roadmap from doing graphic design, from trying front end development to running away, to learning graphic design, to moving to product, seeking a career path line, right? To learning focusing on front end rather product design, to finding Web3 Bridge. So in the earliest days, I think I found this Web3 bridge contest, a landing page redesign contest. Yeah, they were going to pay, I think, around $100 if you're going to redesign the landing
What year was
page.
that?
I was like 2020, 2021, about that time, right? And I was doing Web2 design at the time. And I'm like, one landing page, $300. Ah, that's a lot of money. Oh. I have to think about this Web3 thing, right? So I, took up the time, jumped into YouTube courses, learned about blockchain tech, did that landing page. I think I came second place. And that was the first money I made from Web3 as a product designer. And I'm like, bro, I got to do this for a very long time, right? So I started to ask questions around what do I need to know. Now, one of the key things is, like as we talk about a lot of times here, Web3 is still in its very early stages. Anybody who is in Web3 now is a pioneer. You're basically building the foundations for what it's going to be in the next couple of years. So there's a lot of learning to do whilst you're building. You'll be the one to checkmate your own mistakes most of the time, right? So that kind of just brought that interest to like make a switch. And the next couple years since then has been learning, implementing, learning, implementing, learning, implementing. And I think one thing I've got to learn whilst doing this is Web3 is a very vast category, right? There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of new things to do. There are a lot of new spaces to explore. Not a lot of places even understand how blockchain works, right? So it's left to, we will have this little experience to like expand on it and build around it.
That's all. Okay. Okay, so thank you for that. So I want to go to her now, our women in DeFi. So how many of you guys know about women in DeFi? I like how there are lots of women that knows about women in DeFi. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I wanted to give like a short intro into women of DeFi and also like maybe what inspired it. But before that, let me just add something. So one thing about the Web3 space, when you enter into Web3, you think that, oh, if I know what Bitcoin, Ethereum is, I'm good. But then let me tell you, there are layers to this thing. You know, we taught you about layer twos, like L2s. And then like, some people are like, what is that? That you thought you had to just learn about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you're good. So there's also DeFi. I mean, you guys have heard about DeFi. DeFi on its own is like, yes, it's all inside blockchain, but it's like I want to say like a next level. It's like level 2 in your maybe your level, let me say level 3 in your Web3 journey, because of when you learn about like general knowledge, Vitalik Buterin, you learn about Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the coins, and you maybe learn about technicals. You now understand that there is something called DeFi. You now see things like Aave, Compound, that they are doing aggregators. You now be like, what are they doing? And then people don't talk about swapping. They don't talk about minting, staking. Thank you. And it feels like, what's that? Yes, it may be regular grammar, but then the whole fact like DeFi is like another level. And that is what women in DeFi they want to do. They educate people. Okay, they are focused on women. They educate women on DeFi. Sorry, men. You will have lots of people already. Sorry. You men you can sort out yourself. Sorry. But that's what they do. And she wants to just like explain more about what you guys do and what it's about.
You basically explained like all what we do.
No, say no, please.
You basically women in DeFi is like a non-profit organization. We don't charge money basically. Yeah, it's free for women only. Okay. So women in DeFi is basically like a non-profit organization that encourage women.
Can you hear?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Can you hear? Okay, sorry.
Okay, so Women in DeFi, it's basically a non-profit that educates and empower women into the blockchain space. And we basically do that by hosting DeFi classes. We do skill acquisition like JavaScript. We also host product design, and then we host virtual and physical events. That's basically what we do as Women in DeFi.
Wait, what inspired the creation of Women in DeFi?
Hmm. I can see this all now, and the ratio of men to women is still like 70-30. So basically, if you look at the tech space, you notice that there are always more men than women. It's always more men than women. Like, why is it always like that? And then the blockchain space is still relatively new, and we saw that, oh, this could be a problem. Let's create a solution for it. So basically, we bet women in DeFi to create a safe space for women to start their Web3 career in Web3, DeFi, or blockchain technology, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. You said you're a writer.
Yes, I
How's
am.
it been like writing Web3 content?
Yeah, it has actually been very, very okay for me because I was already a writer, like I was a Web2 writer. So I just learned about DeFi and then I just mixed my skill together.
Wait, do you do Twitter, like Twitter thread writing?
Yes, I used to do it.
So how many writers do we have in this building? Let me share you a hack to make money. Are you guys ready? You know Twitter where everybody just go and be making noise there. Do you know that if you become, I call it Twitter traders, Twitter traders, yes. Basically people that write about project on Twitter and then let's just say you grow a following to like 50, 20K. Do you know they pay you per thread that you post? And they can pay as high as $500 per trade. No, I'm actually serious. Am I joking?
No, she's not
No,
joking.
I'm actually very serious. They pay more than that. It depends on who you are in the space, your followers, and then the thread. Like it's actually a field, I'll say in DeFi, like writing threads on Twitter. Okay, open your phone and go to this guy, Zeus. Seus. Yeah?
I actually have a weird experience with this same
No,
thing.
I know, but no, it's actually like people. I know that people like that's marketing, yes. But the fact is that people make money through that, and it's through the same skill that everyone has. Everyone goes on Twitter, right? Everyone writes, but these people are writing in a special way that companies pay them for money. So if you're a writer, you can write for brands differently, but actually people write threads and get paid for it. So just look into it. I just give you a tip, sharp. So you're welcome. I like you. I want to help you make money in this space. Not that just come and learn. Nothing to show for it. They say no evidence. What's that? You explain tire, no evidence.
So basically, if you're looking for like plug to get trade contest, you can check Super Team, Solana Super Team.
Okay,
Yes.
Super
There's
Team.
always like a trade going on there on their
Okay, they
website.
tried contest on
Like the-
Solana Super Team
Yes,
NG.
Super Team N.
Okay, Super Team
N,
NG.
yes.
All right.
There's always a
You see,
trade
there's
going
always a contest there for writers. $50. That's how
No,
much now?
$50, no, like
Like
the lowest is
100.
$100.
Wow, $100.
So
That's
like
like
100
maybe
to 1,000
okay.
to 500.
Okay. So guys, we're going to do something like right now. I want everyone to just give like now you all have different fields. Give us like one advice that's helped you all through your journey. One advice is that helped you through your journey. An advice to the younger people, an advice that's helped you all through your journey.
All right. Hope you guys are not bored.
Are you guys bored?
Okay, so one of the things that helped me is interest.
Interest.
Interest, yes. It is hard. The Web3 space is hard. See, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But there's way that you can navigate it. The first step is love what you are doing. Love it, have interest in it. See, it's the interest that will keep you going, regardless of how stressful the entire thing is. So, interest has helped me over time, and a bit of dedication. No, navigating school with work is very, very hard, and most of the time I get burnt out. But because I know where I'm heading to and the drive that that keeps me going, so I keep going. Also, be curious. Curiosity and drives. No.
Sorry, who's making noise there? Please now. Please. Please, thank you.
All right, so curiosity and drive would keep you going as well as your interest, like the thing that made you start in the first place. And please, when you are burnt out, rest.
Thank you very much.
What was the question?
That helped you in your journey for other people.
An advice that has helped me is
Yeah.
there's bastard money in this
There's
space.
bastard money in this space, right?
There's ritualism money in this space. Money that
Okay.
if you see it, the interest that you have will be like 100%. Imagine writing like a trade, you winning a trade contest and you are earning like $3,000. Like you put in all your efforts and you get $3,000 and you want to leave, you don't want to have interest. That's what has kept me going on the money. I'm not going
You're
to
here
lie.
for the money.
I'm not going to lie. The money, then the tech, but that's it. I want to earn money a lot. Thank you.
I like your honesty. Yes, people can be pretending, but let's not lie. Part of it is the money. Ekoh, yes.
So,
And advice.
hi guys. Okay, so for me, the advice I'll give you first of all is you cannot become a Web3 marketer, a Web3 writer in your house. Join a community. You know what? In turn, I just want to know what's happening. Be part of a community. And like I would always say, don't write your rejection letter. For those of us that already have a skill, don't be scared to apply. For example, you want apply. Don't write that letter yourself. Wait for them to tell you, sorry, we can't. Don't write that letter yourself. And I guess that's all. And we'll talk more during my session.
Thank you very much. Join a community.
Okay.
There are different communities here. Make sure you join them.
Sorry, I wanted to add something about the rejection letter and applying thing. I think my community member knows me. I think I shared the story with them when I first started. That particular month, it was September 2022. I applied to over 80 jobs. 80 jobs. And I was going until I eventually got the job I wanted.
Aww. That's so inspiring.
So I'm gonna say one final thing as regards the money interest you have. As early this year, what I was doing was majorly just product design. Then I attended Women in DeFi in Ibadan. I'm not a woman, but I like tech events, right? And I met this guy. His name is Messi the Great. Don't know if you know him. And what he does is he writes threads, right? That's the only thing. I think he writes content, but threads majorly. And at the time, he was living very comfortably. I'm like, you write threads. That's very non-technical in some sense. And I do product design. What is the difference in that, right? And one thing I started doing this month is learning how to write threads to add to what I already do. So I think the idea to that is if you can, as much as you are working inside your room and in your safe space, always try to attend events, learn to connect with people. You don't know what advice they would give you, what network, what information that would increase your interest in what you're currently doing or what might be the next thing you would do. I think the second thing is mentorship, right? People have experienced what you're going to experience in the future. What will shorten the time frame from learning to earning is somebody who has done that thing before you. I know how fast it was me to get my first gig. I know how I found Web3 Bridge. So somebody was like, hey, this thing is going on. Apply to this. Somebody I would call a mentor, right? So if you can, in such events like this, in the place where you work, online, try to get somebody who is doing the thing you want to do in the next 5-10 years and who is doing it excellently. There are lots of them in DeFi space. I know Sarah, she's somebody who I look up to a lot, right? You mustn't even know them personally, right? They could just be your online mentors and you could just use their roadmaps to just grow yourself. So find mentorship, join communities, attend physical events, learn to leverage networking too as much as you can. So thank you so very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause for them. I hope you guys have learned something. Wait, sorry. You said you had a question. Can you shout it? Can you tell us? Oh, you've forgotten. Okay, she has a question and that is all. Sorry, we're out of time. That's why I just want to take these 2 questions and that's all. Just remember your question. Okay.
When you want to build a community like from scratch, for instance, now
Please be audible.
when you want to build a community like from scratch, for instance, let's say it's your first job and you actually have to build this community from scratch. you think the best way is maybe like using money like to attract them, or what's the best way to like attract people to make sure that yes, this community that you're building from scratch can last long and have engagement?
One question.
All right, thank you for the opportunity. I have a lot, but I'm just going to ask one. Now, there's so much to learn. You're learning this, another one comes out. You're learning this, another one comes out. It looks like it's very overwhelming. So, how do you focus? How do you focus?
Very much. That's a very good question. Who wants to answer the first question and second question? Second question, okay? First question. Building a community.
But I'll pass it over to her. There's no doubt that incentives at this point is one of the biggest marketing strategy in Web3 space. You can, as it might sound shady or sound somehow, it is the biggest drive marketing strategy currently, because this is still an emerging technology. But I would advise that you understand one thing, which is value. Know your audience. First of all, know your audience. For example, like the ladies, women in DeFi, their name alone would tickle ladies' ears. Like as soon as you hear women in DeFi, you're like, okay, that's my community, right? Then for you to keep them, you have to provide value. So it's either incentives, like you said, money, but there are some people that would even appreciate you recognizing them. There are people that are already skilled. They understand this career path. They just need to be part of a community, like I said, and they need you to recognize them. So just look for a way to incentivize people that doesn't necessarily need to be money. And that's my advice.
Thank you.
Very shortly, I agree with him, but I would tell you not to build a community on incentives. Incentives are very, very important, but don't build your community. Don't make it in such a way that that's the only thing that they are saying in that community. Trust me, it's not killable. It is not. But the thing is, have activities that, interest them. Make them believe in your project, and, we can see after the panel session.
Thank you very much. Last answer, the second question, and we are done.
I think your question is very interesting because focus is something, it's a skill people need to learn, right? One thing that has worked for me with knowing what to focus on is seeing the entire picture in one light. Instead of seeing it as what would happen tomorrow, what will happen next tomorrow, can I see 10 years at once? Where would it lead? Where am I going to? With that information, you can pick what are the important things I need to do now and what can I block out. So let's say in 10 years, I want to be a lead designer at Coinbase. I'll look at what Coinbase is employing around and I'll make that the thing I need to start doing from today. Tomorrow I'll hear that engineering is paying $10 million for this skill. They are paying $50 million for this skill. Because I have this goal of Coinbase in 10 years, I would say, no, this is what I need to do for now to get to where I'm at. If you achieve that goal and like, okay, I've done this one thing, I now need to make a switch. You now know what next to switch to, right? So I could say it's here. It could be a thing you could just hear, right? But it's something you need to actively work on for you to now know how to do that. That answers the question.
All right. Thank you very much for that. I hope that answered your question. Please come.
So I'm sorry about this, but I need to say this. And this for non-techies. I'm not shading the developers, yeah? Don't tell them. But most of them are also passing through this issue because this is still an emerging technology. So they fall, they break, they hack. It's normal. It's like, I don't know, it's a normal thing. Just like I would say, somebody would say, just grow up and be an adult. Life is not easy. You have to know that these things are still emerging. But they say now, who give up? Nine. Exactly. So as soon as you see that, oh, this is changing, just make change as well. But like he said, also, you can also focus on something, but you have to eat, right? You have to earn. So you're like, okay, Coinbase is my thing, but once in a while, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's all.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'll just add this, that track your progress. as much as you're learning this and learning that, have like proof of work. Don't tell me you're doing marketing today and you don't have any proof of work. It does not show growth. It just shows you being everywhere. Either it can be through images, pictures, or even your simple writings, but write and track your progress. And that will help you see where you have been. Like example, January to now, what have you done? Do you know what you have done? But when you track everything by December, you will see how far you have grown. So with that, we have come to the end. We have come to the end. Please see the hostess looking at me.
She knows, she understands. So the whole point about Web3 is community.
Please let's take a picture. You can walk up to them and get their social media handle, and we are done. Do we have a photographer?